With an incredibly prestigious history within mountain biking, Yeti is a name that people love across the world. Concentrating on enduro in recent years, it has certainly paid off for them, winning 2 out of the 3 men's championships. Their current top man, Richie Rude, is now also on track for a 2nd championship for him and a 3rd for the company. We caught up with them to find out what makes the company so special and what their attitude towards this racing is all about.
I would say it kind of just started from way back when. It was like a tight-knit kind of little race team and small company. Everyone's kind of knows what's going on. There was some riders that, huge ones like Tomac, Missy Giove, Miles Rockwell. I was a downhiller myself, and when I first got on, it was with a downhill team. And so that's all I've known, and I was pretty hanging on to that tight. And then when Enduro came about, had fun doing it, liked it, so we kind of understood the format, thought it was great, and the bikes that we were making, it was perfect. It went hand in hand. That's the kind of bikes that we do, so we kind of got onto that. Jared was pretty keen on it, and we kind of let him go for it, and then we focused on downhill and letting Jared kind of do the EWSs. And then once we saw how great it was, went to a few races. Richie went to one. The first time actually me, Jared, and Richie did our first Enduro together, and we were kind of on, so then we kind of really wanted to get into it a little bit more. It was a big battle, at least for me, trying to keep the downhill program and the Enduro program, but the final deciding factor was Richie. He had just won the World Championships as a junior, and I was like, there's no way that he's gonna want to give it all up and just turn it in for Enduro. And the bond with Richie and Jared was pretty tight, and that's where we knew that was a big deciding factor there. So Jared was going to go one way, Richie was going to go another way. The chemistry between those two, but Richie ended up saying, yeah, I'm fully ready to commit to Enduro and put downhill by the wayside, and I was blown away, and so it was pretty much a no-brainer. We just moved the whole program to Enduro.
So when the team transitioned over from downhill to Enduro, you also made the move as well. How was that for you?
Yeah, I wasn't really too torn up about it because I didn't have a very good year in downhill except for winning world champs, and so I was pretty over it at that point. And then back home I was riding Enduro type stuff a lot. That's kind of what I do. And so it was kind of pretty easy move because I thought I'd enjoy it and enjoy that kind of riding instead. And then having Jared around is he would be a good mentor, and obviously he knew what he was doing. He already been riding there for Enduro for a year, and then
winning a championship.
Yeah, I was winning the championship that year because he's a bit older than me, so he's kind of that bigger figure when I'm there, and it really helps when just learning what to do and just the little things or the big things that he could tell you. And
I learned pretty early on that was pretty key for us, always kind of finding the next talent, next US kid. Jared was always helpful in R&D, bike setup, and just general helpful guy. Richie just quiet as possible, just soaks it all up and soaks it in. There's other guys that are really vocal, and Richie kind of just sat back and behind, and then all of a sudden you just see him emerging this kid is taking it all in. He knows, he's listening, and he is, yeah, he's right there.
He's doing okay. I think he's figured out how to ride a bike, and he's doing it well, so it's cool.
Yeah, it's been I think 3 races now that I've been in the top 3, and it's definitely cool just to pull it off and finally get the win.
Teammate Jared, he's just coming in here, past 2 years.
keeping it in the Yeti family.
Yeah, I was stoked to see that he got third, so yeah, and if I was going to take it for anybody, it'd take it from Jared, so pretty pumped.
He was just riding incredible, you know. No, I don't think anyone's ever won a round by that much before, so he was on another level today.
It's so weird, like when you kind of come in the season, you're like, yeah, I'll do top fives, then you end up winning 3 in a row.
It's a long season and he's worked hard, and I guess my bike's here if he really needs something, or I give him a break, or for me to give up one race for that, and I think, yeah, I would.
It's always kind of a dream of mine to be Enduro World Champion, but I didn't think it would happen second year in.
You've been reigning champion all this year. How's that been feeling?
I've been feeling really good. Like, a bit of a surprise, really. Like, I didn't think I'd be, you know, so far up there this year, but yeah, it definitely feels good, and like it makes all the work that Sean puts in and what Damien does, like, all worth it.
Every single race, this kid amazes me. Does not let me down, every race.
Then this season's been going absolutely incredibly well for you. There's been some hard points as well, but from your perspective, how's it been feeling this year?
Yeah, it's been feeling pretty good. I mean, I kind of like try to not think about it like, as a whole, but you know, now since we have 2 races left, it's like
you got to start thinking about it now.
It's pretty nerve-wracking because you know, with 2 races left, all I can do is like keep it together.
Yeah.
But it's like you still want to try and win. It's hard.
You know, I've seen how dominant he is this year. I think there's a couple of things. He's probably playing a little safe, but it's part of the game. He's always really consistent, and he's just doing what he can do and trying not to do anything too crazy to throw it all away, you know. Of second last round is probably the most important one, because then from there it can either be a relaxing or more of a relaxing last round, or a really stressful last round. So yeah, this is a really important round for sure, and he's just got to keep it together.
Learned over the years from Jared on how to deal with this sort of pressure?
A little bit. Like, he told me about the year he was coming in the finale with the lead, and
yeah,
I kind of try to like just remember to like stay relaxed and not do anything stupid. So.
And in terms of teammates now, Jared's obviously gone, but you've now got Cody with you. Is he a good teammate?
Yeah, it's good because now we're like, he's a little bit older than me. We're like a good, you know, age group together, and it's fun to have somebody a bit younger on the team.
To be honest, like when I got on this year, it was almost too much. Like, because I'd never had a mechanic or anything like that. Like, I've always been self-supported, and you know, to like show up to the first race and not have dealt with like all my flights and like all that stuff. Like, I was already like kind of overwhelmed. Like, but you know, now I'm so thankful for it. Now that I've like grasped it and kind of have like a better understanding of how everything works, I really enjoy it, and it's rad. I've always looked up to Jared, and like, you know, to be on a team that he was on for, you know, over a decade is pretty crazy. And you know, Richie's younger than me, but even though I still look up to him, so it's pretty sweet to be a part of a company that's doing that. Like, gives me huge inspiration, like just to know that like, you know, they have like the building block there, and I'm like, to be a part of it is huge.
Currently, we have had two world champions on our bikes, and looking, hopefully, to get another one. My emotions going into the race are definitely try to keep the nerves to a minimum, so I don't project them onto the riders, and it's business as usual, but deep down, and yeah, I'll let it all out as soon as he comes across that finish line.